Hey, everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm in my car, and you're listening to the most horse-powerful podcast on the internet. It's the Xbox Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my friend Ryan Turford. He's the weatherman on the Moose, and on our journey today, we have so much breaking news. It's ridiculous. Game Pass is going up in price, so it's basically on sale right now. So jump on in to the Xbox Drive.
No power greater than X.
Hello, Sean Capri.
Hello, Ryan Turford. It's just like the good old days. I'm back in my car. We're burning gasoline. I've got the air conditioning on me. I've got my laptop sitting on my passenger seat and a webcam attached to my dash. It's good to be doing this like old times, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. First of all, Sean, because you can't see the chat right now. Chat, by the way, both Kevin and Yard in the chat say you look very dapper today. They say you look very nice with your fancy suit.
Thank you. You know. Yes, you know what, Ryan? COVID was not very friendly to many of us, but I was so sedentary. Like, I put on a little bit of weight over the COVID. I've recently been running quite a bit, and suits are fitting me a little bit better these days. So, thank you very much. I'm going into the office right now. I'm going into work, but the fact that I can fit into these suits is it's a bit of a point of pride. So I'm feeling good these days, my friend.
That's true. Yeah. Whereas for me, I hadn't actually tried it on my suits again after COVID, so I'm sure I probably have the same problem. But I ended up having to throw them out anyways, and I have to go buy new suits now because of problems in my apartment that we talked about earlier in the year, which is too bad. I have no suits.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But I basically just go to I just go to work in my shorts and t-shirt at this point anyways now. So
no, sometimes I don't even wear pants, so there you go.
There's that
work
too.
from home.
Adam also asked if we're going to McDonald's today. I think we're going to try to go to McDonald's today. But
I'm passing by Dairy Queen. Goodbye, Dairy Queen. We're passing by Wendy's. Goodbye, Wendy's. We're not doing those ones. But Ryan, yes, I think we're gonna.
Well, it's
I think I'm a
dollar
little
drink.
parched. I think I need it. It's $1 drink day. Only $1 all summer at McDonald's Canada.
That's true.
Give us a sponsorship. Come on, man. We're literally going to your store, on your restaurant, like your McCafe.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, let's clean the garage a little bit, Sean, because it's still a little bit dusty in there. We haven't done this in a while. So, folks at home, if you want to support the show, there's a number of awesome ways to do that. Number one, if you're watching the live stream right now over at youtube.com/carpoolgaming, or if you're watching the video on demand later, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, because, come on, please subscribe to us. It really helps us out. And also, let us know in the comments below what you think about some of these stories we're going to talk about today, including the Xbox price hike, as well as Couch Co-op for Vampire Survivors, as well as a whole bunch of other cool stuff we're going to talk about today. Also, if you're listening on audio feeds, don't forget to rate us there if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or, write us a little nice Apple Podcast review. All that stuff definitely helps us out as well. And then last but not least, if you want one big audio feed with all the Carpool Gaming content on it, or some exclusive content, you need to head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/carpoolgaming, throw a little tip in the old tip jar, and out comes content. And also, from last night, Sean, you mentioned, we don't mention merch enough. You can also, if you want a Carpool Gaming t-shirt or mug or other cool Carpool Gaming stuff, you can head over to our website, carpoolgaming.com, to get yourself that merch. Luckily was showing it off on Nintendo Drive last night. So I wanted to make sure to mention that.
Yeah, I got my Anyway shirt, Ryan. Coffee mugs, by the way, I just want to throw this out there. Not that I recommend anything that is hazardous to your health, but like, coffee isn't the only thing that you can put in a coffee mug, Ryan. It makes everybody think that you're drinking coffee or tea, but you could put anything in there, really, if you like.
Just like when you're watching like the Tonight Show, and they have Jimmy Fallon and his guests always drink out of mugs, thinking that it's coffee when it's actually usually just water.
Could be water, could be little whiskey, if you like.
Could be anything.
Could be anything. Yeah, whatever you want. Could be cough syrup. Could be an energy drink.
It could be one of those energy drinks that The Rock was trying to push on us during the Game Awards, Sean.
Yes. It could be Sunny D, Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Put some Sunny D in I want to know who's got a coffee mug and is putting either purple drink or Sunny D.
You better believe someone out there
Carpool Gaming coffee mug.
Sunny D in one of our mugs before, Sean. That's got to be a thing that exists. But also, I don't even remember what I was gonna say. Oh, maybe that soft drink that kills you, like in Sunset Overdrive, like the
Sunset Overdrive, definitely
grotesque monsters as well.
Yes,
circling back
yes.
to Xbox, of course. I had to bring it back to Xbox, Sean,
I love
because
it. Masterfully done.
let's grab our 8-tracks Pulpaman. It is time for the playlist because we got to talk about Xbox games that we played. Although a lot of these aren't even on Xbox. So, Sean, I'll start with you. What did you play this week, my friend?
Which ones aren't? These are, I mean, mine are on Xbox. I'm playing that they're BioShock Remastered, part of the BioShock collection. You might think I'm not playing that on Xbox because I did buy it on Switch, but then I started playing it on Xbox
Of
for
course
some
you did.
reason, Ryan. Because of achievements, that's why. So I am playing BioShock. People might be wondering why. There's plenty of wonderful games that are coming out right now. Why are you playing BioShock? Well, I'll tell you, Ryan, and listener. I'm playing BioShock because there's a wonderful group of people in our Discord. They like to call themselves the Backtrackers. It's like a video game book club. And the next game that they're playing right now is BioShock. And they're getting together on July 6th, I think,
Yep.
at 9 a.m. My time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And we are going to talk all about BioShock, and I'll give a little bit of my early impressions and my early thoughts here, Ryan Turford, that BioShock, not saying anything new or crazy here, it's one of the best damn games ever made. And this remaster is excellent, and I'm getting lots of achievements, and that's why I'm playing it on Xbox instead of Switch.
Yeah.
And, man,
Which that's
this game
shocking,
is so great.
by the way. Shocking
I
that
know.
you would say that about
Shocking.
BioShock. Shocking. See what I did there?
BioShocking.
See how it connected those?
It's a BioShock, indeed. Dude, BioShock is just so dang special. And I don't know if I need to say much more than that. I'm appreciating all the achievements I'm getting, but it's great.
I will also say that Lachlan adds that you could play BioShock in bed, though, Sean, if you played on Swatch.
Dude, I did message Seth and Lachlan last night as I was going to bed. I'm like, kind of wish I could play BioShock as I go to bed right now.
My
So,
God, Sean.
yeah, a little bit of regret, but here we are, man. I don't know what's going on with my life, honestly. I put on this suit, but it's all a facade. I'm just a mess, dude.
Exactly.
By the way, Ryan, do you want anything? Do you need a drink or anything
no,
like that?
I'm okay. Maybe some Looney Tunes toys.
McNuggets or a wrap? I don't see any. What are the toys?
I don't know.
They've got a lot of smoothies.
I just
I've
remember when
seen.
the last time you used to go to McDonald's a lot, it was Looney Tunes toys, so that's why I said that.
Yeah, I like it when they have the Pokemon cards here as well. I'm actually really surprised at how long this is taking.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, was that this one? Hi there, can I please get a large Diet Coke, please? I said please twice. Yep, that's all. I'm sorry? Just one. Yep, that's it. It's a very confusing order at lunchtime.
It is.
I just want a drink. It's hot out here.
My God. I even made sure to remember that
So
when
I've
you
got
were
this.
ordering your McDonald's to go to Just Sean, the Just Sean camera for that. Also, the McDonald's, I think, broke Sean's
Thank you.
camera.
I was just searching my pockets. I'm like, I hope I have a wallet or something. I need to pay for this. Usually I do the mobile order.
Lachlan adds, placing drive-through orders IRL makes me so anxious. Well, imagine doing
Just
this
a
on camera.
large Diet Coke, please.
Good God.
On debit.
Well, while Sean goes through the drive-through, I'll talk a little bit about something that I played real quick, and then we'll go back to Sean. Because I played the Eternites preview on PC, which I did a whole video about, so I'm not going to talk too much here about it, but I thought it was very fun. Again, it's a game not coming to Xbox.
Thank you.
It is on PC and PlayStation 5. But we got a chance to play like a preview build for it on PC. And it's this like hack and slash action game that also is a dating simulator at the same time.
Dating simulator.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was super fun. Like this was a game that looked fun from the PlayStation showcase that we saw it at like last year. And we hadn't really heard too much about it, but it's coming out in September and it was a pretty fun preview. And they just randomly reached out to us in an email and gave us that opportunity. So it was super fun to check that game out. So if you want to know more about that, there's a whole video on the channel about that. And a lot of people have checked it out. And also thank you to everyone who's letting me know that they checked out that video and they liked us doing that.
You did a great job with it, man. Like it was because I didn't really know a whole heck of a lot of it, and you did a wonderful job of just kind of giving your honest opinions, which obviously we appreciate. But just like a rundown of like the story and the breakdown between the action and the dating scene. Like I think it was a complex game to talk about, honestly, and you broke it down very nicely. So well done, Ryan.
Well, thank you, Sean. Well, getting back to you then, tell me about your New York trip because I saw you have that noted here.
Yes, got to have breakfast with the Lord Cognito from Iron Lord's podcast and Defining Duke. He's just such a kind-hearted guy, and had a great conversation. We had some really almost like too fancy a breakfast. Like it was this eggs and bacon kind of thing, but like fancy eggs and bacon.
Nice.
So good to hang out with him. I've known Cog for many years, which is he always makes time for me when I'm in New York, which is very sweet. But also Ryan, while I was on the plane on my red eye, got a good maybe 90 minutes of sleep, and then I was up again. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm flipping through my Air Canada entertainment options, and wouldn't you know it, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse pops up. And I know this is going to offend some people, but I had not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And I know it's going to offend some Xbox Drive listeners, because why am I talking about this? It makes no sense. Look, this is just a thing that I did. I got no outlet to talk about it. I was moved, entertained. I enjoyed every single moment of that movie, and so much so, Ryan, that when I was in New York, walking around, I had just finished up my visit with Joe After Work, the specimen over at twitch.tv/Joe After Work. No E on the Joe, by the way. It started to rain, Ryan, as I was walking back to my hotel room. I'm like, I got to get out of this rain. I don't got an umbrella. I got no car. Oh, look, an AMC movie theater just right there.
Just I wonder to get out of the rain. Why not?
I hid from the rain, went into the movie theater, and I watched Across the Spider-Verse no more than 3 days after watching Into the Spider-Verse for the very first time. So I had a Spider-Man filled kind of week last week, dude, and I laughed, I cried, I ate popcorn, I had a great time at the movies this last week, my friend.
Nice. And the best part is you were watching it in New York City where Spider-Man takes place. So it all connects.
Indeed. My only comment, and I don't know if it was just because I was in New York and everything is smashed into small spaces. That theater very unimpressive. Sounded great, but the theater, like the screen, I went, gosh, it's kind of a small screen. Well, but it's Times Square, so
yeah, they have to fit into that big city, Sean. Those big buildings.
Very strange.
Because that's one of those things I notice when I'm here in Toronto with a lot of theaters for the same reason, where it's like going to a theater here is very different than going to a theater in like London, Ontario, which even though London is still a larger city, it's still like got that small town mentality when it comes to movie theater. So you go to the big silver city there, and the screens are super big versus the ones here in Toronto. So that is definitely a thing. I definitely get that. Also, you say that it might offend people by saying you hadn't seen it, but Sean, I haven't seen those movies either.
Ryan, even worse.
Well, I had Matt Swinsky when on the RPG Cave when I told him that, he was very upset, Sean. So.
They're so special. It's the kind of thing that makes me want to start a movie podcast again. Honestly, like I love them so much. I ended up watching Into the Spider-Verse again on Sunday with my kids. Actually, as part of Father's Day. So, man, I just adore it. So. Shout out to Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. Those are the movies we want to see. We don't want to see The Flash. Nobody cares about The Flash. How about I just go out of my way to offend at least some people here, Ryan?
I don't really care about that. I'm actually more excited to watch Transformers Rise of the Beasts than I am to watch The Flash.
I'm excited too. Same here, man. I'm right with you.
It should have been Drive. It should have been the real title, Rise of the Beasties, Sean. Just like, because Beast Wars in Canada used to be called Beasties. Which was a thing back in the 90s. Yeah.
Well, we have a natural tie-in. We could have a drive-in, like a drive-in movie theater. It's a movie drive. It's an Xbox Drive. The
it's part of the reason why one of my favorite shows right now is The Last Drive-In on Shudder, which is a show starring Joe Bogbriggs, and he's like an old horror host from TNT back in the day, and it's basically you watch two movies back to back, and he talks like in between sections of the movie, and it's great. He gives all kinds of great insight on the movies. But
I love this so much. We have so much to talk about.
I know.
Talking about movies for 15 minutes. This is amazing. I'm glad. I hope the chat is all good. I can't see the chat right now. I'm trying to drive safely here, Ryan Trifford.
Kevin is very impressed by the Xbox Drive-In, and you got to get us on the big screen is a thing for sure. All right. Diablo 4, Sean. We both played Diablo 4. You noted you played Diablo. I played Diablo. I finished the campaign this week.
Ooh.
It finally happened. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm kind of okay to take a break from Diablo.
You're good?
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got your fill?
Well, it's that. Plus, I noted this on Twitter. I've been running into a myriad of technical problems with Diablo where I got to, with the final boss, you do 2 phases, like 2 full life bars of the final boss. And I got it to the less than 10% of the second full health bar, Sean. I got disconnected from the server and locked out for a few minutes. And when I came back, my character was dead And then I had to do not just the boss again, the entire final dungeon of the game again, with all the cutscenes that are unskippable. So it took me basically an hour to get back to where I was to then kill the final boss in the game, which was annoying. So between that and some of the freezing and stuff, it's just like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm okay with kind of putting the game down until they kind of fix the game a bit. But
how many characters did you have and what levels? Like you really played this game. Like, I don't think that like you even realize you do this differently than most people. Like, you've got multiple characters going on with this thing.
Well, I have, my rogue is the one that I ended up finishing the game with, because I actually really enjoyed like the rogue's playstyle, with just the bows in particular. But I'm like level 52 with the rogue. That's where I finished the game at. And then I also have like a level 40 sorcerer, and a level 38 barbarian, and a level 40 druid, and then a level, I think, like 15 necromancer.
Good God.
So, because I've played the game for almost 100 hours at this point, Sean. So
that's what I mean. You really played this game. Like, most of us will roll credits with like one character, and you're up here, mid 40s on multiple characters.
Yeah. Well, I'm at the point too where it's like I'm waiting for Final Fantasy to come out this week. Like, it's actually coming out at midnight tonight. So I will, as long as I'm not dead by the end of the podcast madness that I'm doing today, Sean, I should
hope not.
I should be okay. But
take care of yourself.
So beyond that, getting the show back on track, Sean. I also played a couple other games this week. Number one, I'm playing more Rock Band 4. Don't need to dive too much into this because, of course, there's new DLC for Rock Band 4 that I ended up buying. So I got some new songs for Rock Band 4 because I had some Xbox credits. So I was like, all right, I will buy this Alanis Morissette song, You Ought to Know. Or I will go and buy...
Did you really?
Yes, or I will go and buy these new songs from Muse that they added to the game.
Muse is great. Nice.
Yeah,
nice
exactly.
one.
So
choice.
There is some good music in Rock Band. I'm very excited. But I played another game, Sean. One last game to talk about last night. I played through the very first mission of Aliens Dark Descent last night.
Ooh.
Which is the brand new Aliens game that just came out this week on Tuesday. And this is like a different Aliens game that we've ever had before, because it's a real-time strategy or real-time tactics game, essentially. I would say it's not so much a real-time strategy game like a traditional RTS, like you're not building units or anything like that. It's closer to something like XCOM mixed with like a full spectrum warrior or something like that, because it's not turn-based in the way XCOM is, but it's in real time like full spectrum warrior is, but it plays like a top-down kind of thing where you're ordering your Marines around, you're exploring these ships or the alien planet, and you're going around and trying to rescue survivors, kill the xenomorphs, and have a good time.
Have a good time.
Yeah. But I actually really like the story that they're setting up in this. Like, you start off in this space station, and of course the dang Weyland Yutani company is just smuggling aliens again, and they get loose somehow.
They can't stop.
Nope. They can't stop, won't stop, Sean. So the ship kind of gets taken over by xenomorphs, and you're playing as this fleet commander who's trying to escape from the ship, and you kind of rendezvous with these Marines, and that's how you kind of get through kind of the tutorial area. But I like where they're going with the story. I also like too that some of the tension, the heightened tension in the game, because sometimes you don't want to be seen by the aliens. So it almost has like that alien isolation moment where you're trying to hide from the aliens as they kind of pass by, rather than having them detect you every single time, because you only have a certain amount of ammunition to get through the levels with. Like, it was like a really solid opening to this game, and I'm having a great time. Again, like, reviews for this game have been all over the place, because on OpenCritic yesterday, this game was setting at a 69, because there were reviews that were 10 out of 10 and reviews that were at like 1 out of 10 for this game. But then it's actually crept up. It's now closer to an 80 now on OpenCritic.
Really?
As more and more reviews have been coming in for this game. And I can see why, because I've read some of the reviews before, picking this one up, and hearing, great things about it, but also people being hampered by bugs, which was, one of the main issues a lot of people cited in the reviews with the poor scores. But I'm having a ball with this game. Like, I'm a big Aliens fan. Like, I did that whole video last month about, the history of Alien video games. If you haven't checked it out, go watch it on the channel. And I've been looking forward to this one. So, and I haven't been disappointed so far. I think it's off to a great start, and I can't wait to play more. So I'll talk about it more in the coming weeks as I get more time with it. But so far so good. Like this is, I think if it keeps on like this, it could be one of the better Alien games in the series, if not one of the best ones. So there you go.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So there you go. That is all the games we've been playing. So let's slam the brakes on this conversation. It is time for some breaking news. And also, Seth.
I actually just tapped the brakes, and I did not need to do that. That's a dangerous move, dude.
Please don't.
I'm coming up to a red light here. Now I'm slamming on the brakes, but it was a little good thing there was nobody really right behind me.
Please don't let me influence your driving habits, Sean.
You say slam on the brakes, I'm like, okay, can do.
Oh my God. Sean, please don't die out there. Seth in the chat, shout out to Seth, who of course is
up,
like,
Seth?
you ought to know, because he's all about Alanis Morissette.
You got to get that Cranberry. You got to get Zombie by Cranberry.
I already have that.
Man.
I have
Good song.
I have like over 600 songs in Rock Band right now, Sean.
Nice. That's a good amount of songs.
I have a lot of songs in Rock Band because I have all the exports from the old games and then a lot of DLC that I got back in the day, back in the 360
I like it.
days. But
I wish Rock Band would let you kind of like make your own mixtapes or burnt CDs, and then instead of like running through a list of songs, you open up like a giant binder of CDs to choose from, and you got like Ryan's Awesome Tunes 47.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have anything like that in Rock Band.
Nah.
All right, Sean, let's start with this story first. And this one kind of came out of nowhere today, but this is one that we kind of expected to happen eventually. Microsoft is increasing the price of the Xbox Series X console in Canada to $649.99, and Xbox Game Pass is also going up in price. So the US price for Ultimate, I believe, is $10.99, and then the Canadian pricing for Ultimate is going up to $18.99 or $12.99 for the basic amount.
Yes.
Sean, it's one of those things where like this is upsetting news, but it's also one of those things where we could have seen this happening a mile away. We knew there's too much value in Game Pass for them to never increase the dollar due amount. But what do you think about this?
Yeah, like definitely other subscription services have kind of like paved the way for this to be a thing, like Netflix and Disney Plus, and there's a lot of precedent here. So on the Game Pass front, I'm not really all that surprised. Also, I think it was a now or never thing for Microsoft to do this. Like they're obviously going into talks with the FTC about the Activision thing. So couldn't happen after that. I think that's even part of the conversation is some sort of commitment to not increase prices after that acquisition occurred. So on the Game Pass front, not as surprising. Nobody's going to be happy about it. Kind of wish that there was also something that they would do about Xbox Live at this point, the games with gold and whatever, not necessarily adding value there. The thing that I am actually surprised at, Ryan, and maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm just going to maintain my surprisedness, okay?
Okay.
Is the increase on the console. I thought that they were going to ride this one out and let Sony do their thing and have PS5 consoles increase. But to see the Series X increase as well, 3 years after the consoles were released, like that's not really, I know inflation is a thing. I get it to a certain extent. Like what even is money, Ryan? That doesn't really make any sense to me. But like, if you were one who didn't buy a console on day one or apparently within the first 3 years, how are you in a worse position now? Like if you're just waiting for the price to go down and it's the opposite and it's 3 years out, I think that's a bummer. That stings actually, to me, that stings more than the Game Pass thing. And I'm just kind of thinking about people who aren't me because both of these things don't impact me personally. I'm good for Game Pass through I think 2025, I think August of 2025.
Yeah, same. We're both in the same boat when it comes to Game Pass.
And I have a console. So I guess the only other thing is I won't be adding a second console to my house anytime soon with this increase. But yeah, it's inflation, man.
Yeah.
Some other trucker.
Well, not only that, but again, this puts it in line with the PlayStation 5, where now they're the same price in Canada. So like, again, that's why I'm also like, it also like, to me, isn't that problematic because you're definitely right. Like it does punish people who did wait, but on the other side of the coin, like if PlayStation 5 is also that price, like I feel less bad about it because it'd be different if it was more expensive than PlayStation 5. Then I think I would raise my ire a little bit here. But it's just one of those things where somehow, Sean, for once it paid off to be an early adopter this time versus last time. or
I
versus
know, so
way
weird.
more, which is weird to think about. But it's important to note that Series S is not going up in price at all. So it's still remaining, the same great value as it was before. And even with the 1 terabyte model that's coming out, like that's not going up in price either. So if you do want to go on the cheaper end of things and you want to get it in the door, like Series S is still a great option, I think, especially with that 1 terabyte hard drive model. Like I actually think like that one I think is $449 in Canada. And I actually think you've got good value there. Like that's the same as the Switch OLED for like the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED. So
yeah, I do like, and I've commented this. Oh, by the way, shout out to PSVG who was kind enough to have me on their podcast last week. I recorded that from my hotel room. I commented this there. Like, I wish Xbox still had, and I'm stopped predicting it because I've reused this prediction over and over. But a digital only Series X, like that would be a nice option and something that stands next to the digital only PS5 at $399. Like I'm questioning the strategy on that front a little bit. It might be a margins thing. I don't know exactly how much more or less money is made or not made when a disc drive is included. So I'm sure they've run the numbers on that, but I feel like that would be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Oh, I just about saw an accident. Oh, that was close.
Jesus, Sean.
Oh, that person. I'm careful.
Drive carefully.
Oh, not
Sean.
me. I'm good.
Drive carefully.
Good. Some people don't look. I'm going through roundabout right now, Ryan. A lot of people don't know how to do these traffic circles, my friend.
That is also true. That is definitely a common thing here. Also, Kevin makes an important point in the chat. PC Game Pass is staying the same price, so that's also not going up either. It's really just the base price and Ultimate that's going up, but the PC is staying the same. Also,
good point.
You've also got some time as well. If you do want to lock in now, or if you were on the fence about getting a console before and you want to get in at that cheaper price, you do have till August 1st. So there is still they did this with enough notice where I think it's totally justified too, where you've got a month and a half. If you really want a console now at the cheaper price, or if you want to stack that Game Pass, like now's the time to do it kind of thing and get that out of the way. But moving on, Sean, with the announcement today, Vampire Survivor is coming to Switch. They also announced couch co-op is coming to Vampire Survivors. Not online co-op. We can't get online co-op for this game, but couch co-op.
Dang it.
We are getting couch co-op for Vampire Survivors. So Sean, is this the default game that we play at Extra Life? Is this a thing that we're making happen?
Definitely. Oh my gosh, yes. And I just saw it just before I left. I haven't looked into any of the details. I don't know if you've got it there. But like how many co-ops? Is it 1 player, 2 player? How many people are we adding to the mix here? But anything more on Vampire Survivors? You guys all know this about me by now. I love Vampire Survivors. I will be double dipping and getting it on Switch. That is great news to hear. It's the perfect platform, I would say. No offense to Xbox, but Vampire Survivors on a Switch is that's going to be good stuff, my friend. Yeah. So yes, definitely going to play side by side. We're going to have a couch at Extra Life this year once again. So literally, we'll be couch co-op friends.
Literal couch co-op friends. Yeah, I went and looked it up. There's no new price increase, or not price increase. Sorry. No new details about how many players can play. I imagine it's going to be only a couple, but who knows? Who knows how many? Like I imagine
maximum number of players. Come on. We're all getting the garlic. Let's all get the garlic together, my friend.
33 players. Imagine if it was like 33 Immortals, Sean. 33 player Vampire Survivor.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't wait.
Yeah. Also, Seth makes an important note in the chat. The new WarioWare comes out the weekend of Extra Life as well, Sean. I think that's also a good
Does
thing.
it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Seth. Oh, I'm so excited. That's like smooth moves coming. Oh, Ryan, by the way, people watching right now, we're going to be doing our wrap up on the Nintendo Direct later on today with you, Ryan Turper.
Yes.
We'll be talking all about that news live on the channel and on the Nintendo Drive podcast feed around the world. Just a quick plug there, my friend.
Absolutely, Sean. All right, moving on. Fallout 76 has received an update out of nowhere, Sean. It runs at 60 frames per second now on Xbox Series S and PS5, which is crazy.
I love it. Why didn't they slide that into the news? Like that would have been the best part of the Fallout 76 segment that they had at the showcase a little while ago.
Well, they wanted to show us Atlantic City, Sean, instead. Like that was the deal.
Oh man.
But, yes. Yeah. I think that's exciting news. I'm still probably not going back to Fallout 76 at this point because I've given that game multiple attempts at this point, Sean, where I've tried to get into it.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah. Like I tried a couple times and I can't get into that game, and I think it's just the gameplay loop that bugs me the most about that game, more than anything. But you never know.
Basically, just the core of the game is the only thing that bugs me about it.
No, because I actually don't mind like the story elements, because they added like the NPCs now. Like it feels like a Fallout game, but it's just the loop of getting supplies and how you progress through those missions is what I don't really like. So.
Can I tell you something, Ryan? Can I tell while we're talking about this?
You can tell me.
I installed the game on my PC. So if anybody else out there is interested, I don't know when this is going to happen. In my mind, like there's these magical streams that I'm doing and playing with everybody, and it's all great. But I have it installed just in case anybody out there is intrigued. So I'm glad you brought it up. It plays well. I think it's cross-play, I imagine. If I'm playing on my PC and somebody else is playing it elsewhere, then let's maybe try out some Fallout. I can't get my car into first gear. Okay, I'm good. John. I'm good. We're good.
Also, Kevin makes a note in the chat. Kevin's never played WarioWare before, so it'll be like NHL all over again if you make him play.
Nice.
Which was one of my favorite shorts we ever put on the channel, was Kevin learning how hockey works.
WarioWare is special.
Yeah. Also, welcome on in, Xavier. It's been a while since we've seen.
Good to see you, Xavier.
Yeah, it's been a while, as one would say. But
it's been a while.
Moving on from the Nintendo Direct, Sean, we got this announcement, which I was not expecting. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is coming to Xbox, Sean, on October 24th. So we got the release date for it today. It includes Metal Gear Solid, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear on the MSX, Metal Gear Solid 2 on the MSX, as well as Metal Gear and Snake's Revenge, both for the NES. So 7 games in total, and it's coming out October 24th, and which of course is like the week after Spider-Man comes out, and the week after the new Mario game comes out, and the week after Alan Wake comes out, and the week after Alone in the Dark
Forza
comes out.
in there as well?
And the week after Forza comes out. Yeah, I think Forza's around that time too. So October is crazy, Sean. But I'm actually super excited for this collection. First off, this is going to be the very first time Metal Gear Solid, the first game, has ever been on Xbox. They've never had it on Xbox before. 2 and 3 we had as part of the HD collection on 360. And these basically are the same versions as what we got in that HD collection of those 2 games. But Metal Gear Solid 1 getting that on Xbox, which is still my favorite Metal Gear game, I'm so excited that we finally have it on the platform at this point. And then the NES
I think this is where I get it, honestly. I think I get it on Xbox. This was a huge deal. In fact, I'm glad that we're bringing it up, because as I saw it appear at Nintendo, my first thought on the Direct, was like, there's another game that is on everything but Xbox. And then I saw afterwards it is coming to Xbox, and I just want to make sure everybody knows that. Yeah. And I will be getting achievements on that, my friend. Do we have any sense, Ryan, if they're doing anything about controls? Is it like it's just the games?
They haven't talked about that at all. Anything? I imagine, though, with 2 and 3 in particular, those will be the same as in the HD collection, which I think the controls in that collection were improved. So for those games, so
there's hope.
Yes, I think with Metal Gear 1, there's probably going to be an updated control screen, but we'll see.
I'm in.
Because they've done that before, because Konami, believe it or not, has been knocking it out of the park with their collections as of late. We had the Cowabunga collection from them. We had the Contra and Castlevania collections from them, and all of those have been good. So they have kind of been one of the best companies out there for doing collections recently. So that gives me hope that this collection can actually be really good. And they'll actually make some meaningful updates. They'll show it off too. There's going to be some cool extras as well for all of the games. There's going to be like some making of stuff, some concept art, and a bunch of other behind the scenes stuff that they do in a lot of these collections as well. So I think this is going to be a great collection. I can't wait to check this out later this year. So October 24th, get ready. Moving on, Sean. I heard you like showcases, so I'm going to put some more showcases in your showcase, because Microsoft have announced that they are having another showcase, this time focusing specifically on ID at Xbox games. This is a partnership with IGN, so it'll actually be live not on Xbox's channel, but on IGN's streaming platform, so twitch.tv/IGN or youtube.com/IGN on July 11th, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. This will also serve to kick off Xbox's Demo Fest, which is a yearly thing that they do with a ton of Xbox ID at Xbox titles available that same day. So all the games that we see during the showcase, you'll then be able to play all the demos on Xbox that same day, which is always pretty cool. Like, I love going in and because they usually put up like 50 demos, Sean, every single year that we can go play. And I love just going in and just picking up random games that they posted and seeing what's this game all about? What is this game where you play as a random orange about? You get to find out.
Well, Ryan, I love that this is on IGN. I have to imagine, well, number one, I think the production of it is, I'm looking forward to seeing how those worlds are going to collide. The Xbox world and the IGN world, and the way IGN presents, I think is interesting. Ryan McCaffrey has always celebrated, was it Summer of Arcade? Is that what it was called? I'm like Alzheimer's.
The Summer of Arcade, yeah.
Yeah, he has been just like desperately trying to get that back to life. I don't know if this is that necessarily, but maybe as close to it, like that, what games were it, like Limbo and Castle Crashers and things like that? They're like really seminal small indie games, downloadable titles back in the 360 days. So I have to imagine maybe there's like a connection there. So interested to see Ryan McCaffrey really celebrate this, and hopefully he's involved to a certain extent. But I'm still a fan. I've moved on in a lot of ways, Ryan, from IGN, but Ryan McCaffrey's he's an old stay over there, and I always appreciate Ryan McCaffrey.
Same.
Yeah.
I actually really like Ryan McCaffrey a lot. I also don't really listen to Unlocked anymore, and part of it is also just I don't really listen to a lot of Xbox podcasts anymore because we do Xbox Drive every week, and I don't want to kind of filter in like their thoughts to filter into mine.
For sure. Yeah.
So that's kind of the way I approach that. Whereas I usually like any gaming podcasts I watch are usually like ones that aren't about usually things we talk about. But yeah, like I'm also interested in checking this out. I'll be watching. We probably won't live react to this because I imagine it's a lot of developer interviews and stuff like that from the sound of this.
Yeah.
But I think this is definitely something that I'll watch that day because I'm excited to learn more about some random ID at Xbox games because then it'll be like, oh, these are the demos I should go check out later that day. But Sean.
Yeah, man.
The following games are coming to Xbox Game Pass. So started with
nice.
Need for Speed Unbound, June 22nd.
Good one.
Very, very good game, by the way. Folks, if you haven't played it, really good racing game. Definitely check it out. The Bookwalker, also coming out June 22nd, so tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then on June 27th, we are getting Bramble the Mountain King and Fist, or F.I.S.T, Forged in Shadow Torch. Also
that's unnecessary.
Yeah, that's the game where you play as like a hamster, and it's a Metroidvania game. It was on PlayStation for a while.
Oh no, my webcam just fell over, Ryan. That's all broken. No, I can't fix it yet.
Oh, it's fine. We don't need.
That's what happens sometimes when you do a podcast from your car, my friends. I'm still on the road and I cannot fix it. That's like Fear, Ryan. First Encounter Assault Recon. Of course.
Literally just that. That's exactly why I brought it up. Also, Kevin corrects me in the chat. It's a rabbit, not a hamster. You're right, Kevin. I apologize for that.
Oh, okay. Some sort of small animal that could probably be picked up by a falcon or a hawk or an eagle, if you like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then on June 29th, we are getting Story of Seasons Friends of Middle Earl Town, which I know Lockcliffe is excited about that one because that's one of those cozy farming games, Sean. That Story of the Seasons game. That's the game from the old Harvest Moon developers that isn't called Harvest Moon. That's kind of their spiritual successor to it. But then on July 3rd, we are getting Arcade Paradise, and then on the same day we're getting Sword and Fairy Together Forever.
That's but what are some of these games?
I guess we'll find out one of these days. We keep bouncing this idea out there, and of course I'm just going to make this very transparent of this idea where we watch trailers for some of these games and kind of find out what's going on. Oh my God.
I think maybe next week, Ryan. Maybe next week.
Maybe. But then the following games are leaving Game Pass, Sean, on June 30th. There's an okay list. We got DJ Max Respect 5, Empire of
DJ Max Respect 5.
Nope. And then Empire of Sin, Matchpoint Tennis Championships, Ouija, Omori, and Road 96. So make sure to grab those now if you care about those. Omori is actually one I might pick up because that's a horror game that I haven't checked out yet, and I like horror games. So I might actually check that one out. And then last news story of the week, Sean. Immortals of Aveum, that cool game from EA that looks like Magic mixed with Call of Duty, has been delayed until August 22nd. It looks really cool, but it should be out just a month later because it was supposed to come out next month, coming out now in August to kind of kick off the video gaming season this holiday. So
yeah, man.
There you go. Well, Sean, let's let some of our friends into the car with us. It is time for the carpool. And first question of the week comes to us from Sean Capri, who says, wait a second, touch controls, with a screenshot of, Persona 5 Royal on xCloud with touch controls. Sean, explain yourself here.
So last night, as I was wishing that I could be playing BioShock on my Nintendo Switch, which I could have because I bought it, but I didn't have any progress. I was like, I kind of still want to play something. So I opened up the old xCloud window, the little browser thing on my iPhone, and I realized I haven't done that in quite some time, Ryan.
Yeah.
And really where my involvement and my happiness, I think, with xCloud on iPhone is, or mobile, if you like, is games with touch controls. Like I'm not really doing the whole get a controller and get the clip thing to connect your phone to it. Like I need games with touch controls, and I'm wary of games that like Halo or Gears that require a little bit more of like that you need a controller, a little more twitchiness to it. So I'm like, maybe BioShock is there, but BioShock was not there. But Persona 5 was there. And that might be exactly how I play that game, my friend. I just want to let other people know that this is a thing. You got that there, xCloud. And we are hearing from all corners of the internet these days that xCloud has gotten better. And I played just like I was in menus, really, honestly. So nothing too terribly intense, but like perfect connection. Flipping through the things, like there was no delay, no artifacting, no nothing. So Ryan Turford, I'm curious how this hits you. You are a fan of their Persona games. What if I start playing Persona before Betty Bye time for me on my phone in the dark?
I think that's a good way of doing it, John. I mean, I think I especially because that game is turn-based. So I mean, it's not like you really need like those precise controls or anything like that.
Yeah,
I think
right.
I think that's pretty good. Also, I'm also laughing a little bit because chat's giving me some fun instructions on what to do with your picture. Because since your camera turned off, Sean,
my camera turned off.
I'm basically
I'm in a parking structure right now.
So what I did, Sean, is I grabbed a picture of you from your picture from Twitter, and the chat has suggested that I take your head and just blow it up. And make it super big. Not actually physically blow it up, but there we go. Sean Capri now live via satellite is what is currently happening right now. But yeah, so I like that. Oh, geez. I finished.
I'm back.
All right.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Sean.
I turned it on.
So yes. So I'm actually excited that you're going to finally maybe play this game, Sean. It's only 100 hours. So, I should say if you get through the Royal content, it's actually only 130 hours, Sean.
Oh my God.
I'm sure you'll be fine. I'll sure you'll do fine. And that's if you don't die.
Well, shout out to xCloud. That's all I really want to do. And maybe every once in a while we give a shout out to a game that is on xCloud that maybe you didn't know about. Maybe you need to draw some attention to it. But that one I think will work, as you mentioned. Not an action game or anything, but turn-based I think is a natural fit. I played Life is Strange on xCloud, True Colors. Played that one on xCloud. So yeah, it's a good option, I think.
Nice. All right, next up, Nagachaka asks, what will you and Sean be wearing when you record the Xbox Drive during Starfield launch week? And why will it be the Starfield watch headset and somehow the Starfield controller as well? Like
wearing controller.
I imagine we do one of those gold chain necklace things that you see in the rap music videos. Because I remember this Ludacris music video, with the artist Ludacris, not that the music video itself was Ludacris, where he had like a giant gold chain with a giant clock hanging from it. And I'm like, I imagine something like that, but the Starfield controller. Sean,
wasn't that like a Flava Flav thing? Ryan, I was thinking something similar, having the controller sort of like on the chest region, but more like a Darth Vader, like it's going to be operating our breathing. Yeah. Because I also will be definitely buying some sort of astronaut suit, Ryan. We're going to be wearing astronaut suits as well.
Oh my God, Sean. Of course
We're going
you are.
all out, man.
My kids have
astronaut suits.
I should be surprised by this, but I'm not. This doesn't surprise me in the slightest at all. I'm not going the extra mile. See what I did there? With the astronaut suit, Sean. It's not happening.
Yeah. Well, Xbox Canada, if you have any extra astronaut suits celebrating the release of Starfield. Please let me know. I'll let you know my size.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're doing it, man.
Actually, why doesn't that's $1 million idea, Sean? Why isn't
That
Xbox
is a $1 million
doing
idea.
astronaut suits on the Xbox store, like Starfield
Seriously.
branded astronaut suits that you can buy? Like what's
Yeah,
the deal
man.
with that?
Yep, that's what I want.
Also, I like the fact that now I can point to the Starfield controller because now I've positioned it on my camera, Sean, where now it's in plain view it's been in plain view the entire podcast as well. It's a nice
I got mine as well. Got mine in from Best Buy. I actually ordered two. I ordered one from Best Buy and one from Microsoft. And Ryan, I don't know if this is available anymore though. I think it's sold out from Microsoft, but they had better packaging than Best Buy. That thing came in like perfect, the hard cardboard and everything. It was good. But I will keep the one from Best Buy because I found a gift card.
Did it at least ship from Canada? Because a lot of times when you get stuff from the Xbox store, they ship it from New Jersey, and it always takes forever to get here.
Oh, I don't know. I should check where I just saw Microsoft, but I will let you know on that. I don't know.
Oh, it's all good. And then the final question of the week comes to us from Fulia, who asked the question, okay, so I'm not really an Xbox gamer. I've even come to the point where I haven't played anything on Xbox for a while, and that paying for Game Pass for me isn't really worth it at the moment. I've canceled my subscription with the hopes that maybe I'll get back into it in the future. With that said, I love Forza Horizon 5 and decided to just buy the game outright because I know I'll play it. Hypothetically, if you had to cancel your Game Pass sub, what is one game that you would actually buy right now? If you had to go buy, if you that you needed to play. And for me, honestly, there isn't a game out there right now because, it's one of those things where a lot of times I will usually end up with a copy of a game that's on Game Pass anyways. So I don't usually utilize the Game Pass service a whole lot myself. But the game that I would absolutely go buy is Starfield when Starfield comes out. Like I would be pre-ordering Starfield instead of just playing it on Game Pass. That game 100%.
Well, we did. Did we not both get the Constellation Edition?
We did kind of do that already, Sean.
Yeah, like we're outside of early access from PR. We're outside of Game Pass. Like that's about as put your money where your mouth is kind of thing, man. Like we're all in on Starfield for sure. Yeah.
I would say also the Forza games as well, like because they get delisted. Because they get delisted and removed from Game Pass, like those are definitely ones you should pick up at some point when they're on sale, especially like when they announce the game is being delisted, because then they put it on like the lowest price that game has ever been, because it's being removed from Game Pass.
Dude, like this is the thing. Like maybe this is a plea or a case to be made to like not give up Game Pass. Honestly, although whatever you play is whatever you play, but like Doom and Doom Eternal are on there, and those are excellent games that everybody should have. They should be standard on whatever console you're at. It should be like Paint. You should just have Doom. You should own Ori. I'm totally on both Oris, Blind Forest and Will-O-the-Wisp. You should own all like the Forza games, as you mentioned, Horizon for sure, Motorsport. I think those are, I don't know if she's just limiting us to like one, but there's lots of games you should just have. Like Gears 5, you should own Gears 5 and Hivebusters. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't need to own Gears Tactics, but Gears 5, you should own that one.
Gears Tactics. Oh man.
Also, one of the best things about Ori, Sean, if you want to buy that game, they have a new game plush edition of Ori that comes with a little plush version of Ori along with the copy of the game, cute. Which is just super cool. So I know that's available only, like I know in Canada, I don't know if it's available worldwide, but that's like a GameStop exclusive kind of thing.
Exclusive. I would miss Outriders. Like I think that's a great game that people should own. Pentiment, you really like Pentiment.
It's true.
Persona 5.
Yep.
Any
of those Persona games. Persona 4 Golden, even.
Yep, definitely. Rare Replay.
Yep.
Yeah, now it's just turning into a.
Now we're just talking about all the best games on Game Pass. Yeah,
those are definitely those ones you should own.
I would definitely say like the top of that list should be any of the Forza games, especially that ones that you will go back to because they do get delisted and removed, 100%. But anyways, Sean, I think that's going to do it. For today's show, I didn't even mention this whole time, Sean. James Cameron's Dark Angel Season 1 now available on DVD. I went through a whole show and didn't even mention that.
So weird that the entire show you didn't mention James Cameron's Dark Angels featuring Jessica Alba.
Yeah, which I watched another episode last night, Sean. It's a good show.
Okay,
it's a good show. Anyways, before we go, Sean, plugs go.
You can find me on the internet on Twitter at Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. You can find me streaming at Twitch, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. And I think that's it, Ryan. I think that's all. That's all for me.
That's it. That's all. As for me, you can find me on the Twitters at Ryan Turford. And you also find us on Twitter at Carpool Gaming. Also, come join us tonight over on the Save the Game Media channel. Kevin Ainsworth and I will be sitting down doing Project X Talk tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And of course, come back for the Nintendo Drive tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here at youtube.com/carpoolgaming. We're also on podcast services around the globe. So, for Sean Capri, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 296 of the Xbox Drive. Only 4 more episodes before episode 300. And we're out. Bye.
I interpret this message at the outgoing part. Usually I say to everybody else listening out there, but this is directly for you. Me and you need to really sit down and talk about what we're doing for 300 games. Bye, everybody. Bye.